while we were looking around garden yesterday, just checking on all plants, see how things were doing, we came across that big tub, second early Charlotte potatoes, and all the leaves are all starting to go yellow, but some aren't. So I'm not sure if there's a problem with that tub. Is it too wet in the bottom? Is it root bound? Or is it nearing harvest and some of the plants are now starting to die off? And the only way to find out is to take it out carefully without damaging the top foliage, otherwise it will just stop growing altogether. So we'll try and get it out of this tub and just make sure that it's not holding water at bottom or root bound. So let's go and do that. So this is that tub of Charlotte second early potatoes, and you can see all this foliage on top, all going yellow, but some of it's perfectly fine. So let's try and get it out of this pot without damaging it. Best way to do this is kind of keep rolling it back and forth so it loosens up inside this tub. Let's see if we can feed it out. I'll give you a closer look. So we've got it out, we haven't damaged it at all. There's a couple of potatoes growing, all being really tiny though. There's a bigger one there, just next to it. But wait, they're too small obviously for harvest. But looking at it, it is quite wet at the bottom, but the rest of it's quite dry. And it's definitely not root bound. So I don't really know what you can make of that. But at least we know now it has got good drainage. It is growing potatoes, albeit small. And I can't see any infestations or anything of insects either, apart from odd wood lice. But you're always going to get that. So we'll pop it back in and leave it, see how it goes. Well, we got it back in, easy enough. There's a bit of damage to some of the leaves, something's been trying to eat its way through. Not sure what. All I can assume is that's slugs. But this is really good foliage. This is not so good. So I think all we can do with this pot is just leave it and hope that those potatoes still grow into a decent size. Even if they only become salad potatoes, it's going to be better than nothing. That were a bit inconclusive, really. I mean, we've took it out of the pot, we've had a look. The bottom is not saturated, and pretty much most of the rest of that plant in that container is quite dry. The roots aren't twisting all around the bottom, so it's not root bound. But the potatoes are really small, considering this is getting round to that time when you would be harvesting second earlies, because they need 15 to 17 weeks, and that's been in that pot for 16 weeks. Or is it something to do with the weather, the fluctuation of weather going up and down, hot to cold, that's causing these potatoes to be only tiny? Or are the big taters in the centre. And we won't know that without breaking it apart, but I don't want to do that just yet. I would rather leave it a little bit longer and wait for all that foliage to completely die back, and then we definitely know it's not going to grow any bigger potatoes from that point on. So, as I said, very inconclusive. It's not root bound. It's not got saturated roots. It's just doing what it's doing. A little bit of insect damage. So all we can do now is we've put it back in that tub, leave it be and see how it gets on for the next couple of weeks. And then we'll do a potato reveal and find out exactly what we've got inside that tub. It was very tempting to tear it apart now. But if I was to do that and then discover that there was only 8 or 9 really small salad potatoes in the centre, it wouldn't be feasible to try and put it back in that pot because you've basically ripped apart the root system. So I resisted temptation, we've put it back in, and we'll find out later on exactly what we've got. And if you want to see what we get out of that potato pot in a couple of weeks' time, then just hit that subscribe button and press that notifications bell, and we'll see you for that potato reveal. You all take care.